this is going to be the video before I post the makeup tutorial for Grand Kadooment in Barbados. I just want to begin at explaining what exactly Cropover is, because when I say alright, going home for Cropover here in America, people are like, what is Cropover? Cropover is like carnival, like what people have in like Rio de Janeiro and Brazil and stuff like that. It's like the same thing, or Mardi Gras in New Orleans. Just that we have a little different in terms of the history and everything else. Now, Cropover originally actually dates back to the 1600s or 1700s, I'm not too sure, and it was all about the end of the sugarcane harvest. So I don't know if most of you know, but Caribbean islands such as Barbados, everyone knows, but in Barbados there were slave times, and to celebrate the end of the sugarcane harvest, slaves used to like celebrate like almost like a mini festival. So they had like instruments, the triangle, the shot things, drums, and they used to kind of like parade through the plantation field just to celebrate the end of the harvest. The end of the harvest is like a big thing for slaves because there's no more work, no more orders from slave owners, master, whatever you want to call it. So that's how they celebrate, and that's actually how Cropover started. That's where the word crop over came from, obviously. So fast forwarding through time, you know, things get added, things get taken away, but yeah, also they used to have like games and stuff. I've read because I did history of the CSC in secondary school's high school in Barbados. So people used to climb grease poles, celebrate, sing, dance. It was like as a whole set of festivities. Right now in Barbados, how it's adapted is that it lasts for like 2 months, and we do a whole series of calypso competitions. Calypso is like a genre of music, soca, a whole set of music, people singing, a lot of lines. There's port line you could go to. There's something happening every single week in Barbados through the months of like July and August. So that's where we have come to right now, and it's probably like where we get the most tourists also, because everyone comes to Cropover season. It's sunny, it's bright, there's so much to do, and these festivities, whether it be competitions, shows, lead up to, well, first there's Kitty's Kadooment, which is like the mini version to Grand Kadooment. After the weekend after Kitty's Kadooment, there's things that you can't miss. Number one, on Friday night, I may get wrong, but there's a party called 10 to 10, which starts at 10 at night to straight to 10 in the morning. I've never done it because I don't think I'll last it, but I've heard it's very good. There's also Beige Jubilee, and Beige is a band. This is a beige costume that I'm wearing right now. So they hold this really big, it's basically a paint party. So you go there and get paint thrown on you. It's a lot of fun. Go to that if you've been to Barbados. I had so much fun. I'll probably insert some pictures here of Beige Jubilee. Next thing you want to go to is Cropover is like where all the best singers of like calypso, kaiso, and soca come to perform basically, and that's the night before Grand Kadooment. The following day, the Monday, is Grand Kadooment. That's when all the bands from across Barbados, the bands come, and we march from, it used to start at the stadium until Spring Garden Highway, but now it starts from Warren straight to the stadium. So it's a pretty long march, but you don't feel it because you're like chipping, meaning like kind of walking, kind of slow, kind of dancing, anything you want to call it, yeah, from Warren's to Spring Garden. So it's a whole lot of fun. It's so colorful. You're gonna want to jump if you're in Barbados during that season. So that's basically what Cropover is. And this, I have jumped 2 years so far. My first year was 2 years ago, and this was my first costume from Beige. Second, last year I jumped in Beige also. It was a blue and gold costume. I'll turn it right here. But this is my favorite one. I can't find the bottom piece to my last one from, I actually can't find the bottom piece to this costume, or my last one, and last year it had rained, so the headpiece got really wet. So I can't show you that one. But this was my favorite costume. So I just want to show you a little bit about what Cropover really was, because a lot of people do not know what it is and the history it has behind it. All of this wasn't really how it actually started, because like I said, it was slave times. They were just celebrating that they had an off period, like a vacation basically. So this is what has actually evolved into. So if you're ever in Barbados for Cropover time, bands I can recommend you to be in is, there's Beige for sure. Pros, you can guarantee a costume that's not gonna like fall off during the road, because some bands they don't produce the costumes as good as others, and Beige is one of those that you can guarantee that the costume is gonna be good. Like, this is 2 years old and none of these can fall off or anything, and I can't find any bottom these. So there's Beige. There's also Power by 4. There's the Blue Box Cart, and I can't tell you how that is, because that's actually, the Blue Box Cart band is usually where all the tourists going to, so it's a very, yeah, it's a tourist, it's usually the tourist band. There's also, what's pretty ones, Power by 4, Contact, Beige. There's Rebel Vibes. He's not this year, but he started last year. The ones that usually win are Gwyneth Squires and Betty West. They usually win because, oh, it's also a competition, I forgot to tell you, like, to see who the bands choose a theme and they represent it throughout in their costumes. So Betty West and Gwyneth Squires usually win. It's a little bit more on the conservative side. The older people usually go into Betty West and Gwyneth Squires. So, and the younger people usually go into like Beige and Power 4 and Contact and bands like that. And Blue Box Cart also. Yeah. What else? Yeah.
Roll call! Soca junkie! Come let me go!